What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We made it to the end of the year. Now it's time to share with you my picks for the 10 best movies of 2024. My favorite movies of the year. 10 movies with a couple honorable mentions that I deem to be the best, aka my favorite movies I really enjoyed throughout the entire year. Let me know your picks for the best movies of 2024 down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Let's hop into this with some honorable mentions. Just missing the cut, Late Night with the Devil. Easily my favorite horror movie of the year. This movie was so unique, and David Dastmalchian, I mean, he's a star. I hope we see him leading more movies soon. Monkey Man, Dev Patel's directorial debut. Think of John Wick with a bunch of different twists and turns in there. Action-packed. I love this one. Bad Boys Ride or Die. This made me really fall in love with the Bad Boys franchise yet again. I was just not expecting to enjoy this one whatsoever, and I had the most fun with this Bad Boys movie over any of the ones that came out. And finally, The Fall Guy. Now, this movie has a fair share of problems. The story is all over the place. Nonetheless, I'm a Ryan Gosling fan, and it really just pays homage to all the stunt performers throughout Hollywood. Ton of fun with this one. Gets a little crazy, but had to throw it on honorable mentions list. Let's hop into number 10. And starting off at number 10 is a movie I just watched recently. I literally just watched it the other day. Anora. I was not expecting this movie to be, I guess, what it was. Went in completely blind. Didn't even watch a trailer. People say it makes Pretty Woman look like a Disney movie. Well, if that ain't the freaking truth. Great performances all around. An insane story that had me laughing my butt off throughout the entirety of it. If you haven't seen Anora, you can rent it on Amazon Prime right now. Highly recommend you do. At number 9, It Ends With Us. Amid all the controversy going on with the cast, I read the book. My wife read the book. We both thought the book was very good, so we went into this movie, and we both really enjoyed this movie, what they brought from the book to the big screen. It is dealing with domestic violence, and I thought they did a good job at portraying how people can get stuck in these situations. A very more serious movie that has a love story going on throughout it. It's a movie that caught me by surprise, how it hit me emotionally, how at times it does make you laugh, and how at times it also makes you feel very relatable. Amid all the controversy again, I still enjoyed this one. At number 8, I have a love-hate relationship with this one. I really enjoyed it the first time I saw it. The second time I saw it, didn't love it as much. Third time I saw it, the problems definitely came true. But Deadpool and Wolverine had to make this list because I watched it 3 times this year. One of the few movies that I did watch 3 times this year. The best part about this movie is Hugh Jackman. The worst part about this movie is the non-stop banter and jokes from Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. But, I mean, this movie had so many oh my god moments from the cameos of Gambit and Blade and Elektra. And I guess Johnny Storm as well. You weren't expecting any of these. At least I wasn't. And I just came out when I first saw it. I remember like that was a movie over the summer where I was like, damn, that was a really fun movie to watch on a big screen. Not as great on rewatch, but I watched it 3 times this year. I think that warrants it making the list. At number 7 is Saturday Night. The first 90 minutes leading up to the first ever Saturday Night Live. This movie is chaotic. It's all over the place. It felt so real. It felt literally like a documentary crew running around. The cast is phenomenal. Very young cast that just worked so well and really just captured the chaos of trying to create a live improv show on TV. At number 6, Hitman. I watched this movie 2 times, starring Glenn Powell. He co-wrote this one, and it is Glenn Powell being Glenn Powell in every different shape and form you can imagine him to be. This movie was just so funny, and it was such an easy watch, and it was one that I wanted to rewatch after I watched it with my wife. Recommended to all my friends, my family, everyone who watched this movie had a ton of fun with it. It was a great movie to watch on Netflix. One of those movies that's kind of harmless, but it's just so funny, so quick-witted, and overall, I just dug the hell out of it. Breaking us into the top 5, Inside Out 2 hit me like an emotional train. I mean, anxiety is all a little bit too relatable, but that's part of the beauty of this movie is that people dealing with anxiety, how it happens, people who don't have anxiety can really see how it really just takes over people's lives. And this movie, I mean, just Riley growing up, a coming-of-age story where she's more the focal point throughout this film. It hits you so hard and it feels. I can't wait to show this movie to my daughter one day. She's coming of age. We watch it because it is funny, but it has so many emotional lessons in there. And I mean, by the end of it, my wife was bawling. I was almost bawling as well. And it hit you so hard in the feels. It hit you so hard, and it gets in the laughter area as well. And overall, a ginormous win for Pixar. At number 4, Twisters, another Glenn Powell movie. This, to me, is the summer blockbuster movie of the entire year. This movie was, when I went there, I said, now that is a summer movie I want to watch again on the big screen. Glenn Powell is a star. I loved him in Hitman. I loved him in Top Gun Maverick. But Twisters, he comes into his own. And comparing this to the original Twisters, this one is miles better than it. The action is so intense. The thrills just keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the ultimate summer movie. When you think of summer blockbuster, at least for 2024, my mind immediately goes to Twisters. At number 3, Challengers. I saw this one 2 times in theaters. I've only saw a couple movies 2 times in theaters, and this one was one of the ones that I was interested in. I'm a big fan of Luca Guadagnino, and I was like, okay, a tennis movie where there's a 3-way relationship going on. What's going to take place? Mike Weiss, Josh O'Connor, Zendaya. How is it going to play out? Well, it plays out so intensely and keeps you on the edge of your seat and does the impossible. Makes Zendaya so unlikable. I cannot stand her throughout this movie, but one of those films where my wife watched it and she was like, we can go see that again whenever you want. My wife never says that, and the fact that she did made me dig this one that much more. And we watch it on home all the time. It's on Prime Video, and it's so funny. It's so quick-witted. The score is intense, and that end tennis match, I mean, it's just chef's kiss. It's perfect. Luca Guadagnino put on a clinic in this film. At number 2, a movie that took me by surprise, took the world by storm, Wicked. I mean, I didn't know what to expect with this one. I'm a big Broadway guy. I'm a big musical guy. So coming in, I was like, all right, like, obviously, the most popular Broadway musical really of all time, and Wicked. Let's see how it comes to the big screen. Well, John M. Chu, he can do anything with musicals he wants. I love In the Heights, and I love Wicked that much more. I mean, the soundtrack is phenomenal throughout this one. The performances are absolutely epic, and the grand scope and scale, and when you watch the behind the scenes of how they made this movie, from the actresses doing their own stunts to them planting thousands of lilies and tulips and flowers everywhere to building Oz, it is the most immersive experience I've had in a theater in so long because of all the practical effects. They build everything. And this is part 1, and I can't wait for part 2. By the end, defying gravity. Just that moment in theaters, that might have been my favorite moment in theaters behind what's at number 1, because that moment I had chills from head to toe, did not know what to do with my hands. I was like, that was beautiful. That was fantastic, and I wish I could sing. I really, really do. I loved Wicked. But at number 1 is Dune Part 2. When I first saw this movie, I said that might have been the greatest sequel I've ever seen in my life. I saw it again 4 days later and confirmed this is one of my favorite sequels ever, because everything I loved about the first Dune, this movie has, but it has so much more, and it's so much more epic, and it's just ultimate payoff, because the first Dune is 100% setup and build-up, which I love setup, I love build-up, I love that in movies, but then the second one just pays off so much, and you really just go into Paul Atreides becoming the man and Duke of Arrakis. And this movie has my favorite moment of cinema this entire year, when he goes there and he comes up and gives a speech in front of everyone. It was one of the most epic things I've seen. I've never seen a performance captivate me so much. I was like, Lisan Al-Gaib, like, I'll follow this guy to frickin' the moon. I don't care where he wants to go. I will follow Paul Atreides. This movie gave me everything more I wanted. I saw it the first time with my wife. She wanted to see it again 4 days later. We saw it with 2 of our good friends. They both said, that might have been the greatest movie I've ever seen. And my friends, it's at least the greatest movie of 2024. And that's going to do it for my picks of the top 10 best, my favorite movies of the entire year. Cannot believe 2024 is coming behind us. It's absolutely insane. Thank you guys for watching and liking, subscribing, being here. 2025 is going to be a huge year for content, movies, and TV shows. Can't wait to talk it all. Thank you guys for watching, for being here. I'll see you next year.